Will you remember me? Though it's hard to see in this cold world that we call home. Will you remember me when we're not free from this cold world? That is not my home. One day we'll be alright. I'm losing sight. One day we'll be alright. I'm losing sight.
Hello everyone, it's your boy Ark coming at you again with another Jus Saiyan cast. As always, I have my co-caster alongside me, Avarice. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Hello, guys. What's going on?
Oh, mate, I feel like I'm coming down with the flu, so I'm going to try and push through tonight and hopefully not die too much. But we obviously have the C9 Summer 2015 boys back on the stream tonight. We enjoyed their last game, so jumping in once again up against Tribal, who, can I just say, their logo is actually making me like have some weird feelings. It's so good. We're just waiting for the vetoes to complete on this. It's final ban coming in from Cloud9 Summer 2015 here. It's currently between Inferno and Train. Obviously last time we watched Cloud9 Summer, they were up against on Inferno there, which they ended up winning that game actually. I think both of these teams have very similar win-losses at the moment. I think they're both 3-1.
Yeah,
Actually,
Cloud9, Summer 15 are on 3-1, and I'll have a look.
Tribal's 4-1, I believe. Yes, 4-2 for Tribal.
4-2.
So very similar around on the leaderboard. So similar elo at risk for both teams here. Definitely hoping to obviously get that win off this evening. Now I think obviously considering we've seen Cloud9 Summer 15 play a little bit. Oh, they've decided to go with Train. How about
Interesting
that?
choice.
Interesting. So obviously with no information on I guess either of these teams when it comes to Train, I guess we may as well just have a quick discussion in regards to the map itself.
So when it comes to Train, really there's, for the most part, the AWPs are going to play a huge factor in this game, depending on how each team uses their utility, that is. But absolutely, when it comes to CT side holding AWPs, especially Ivy and towards team main, it's so powerful. Even uppers as well can really just hold down a bomb site. So AWPs, you can expect to see AWPs come out quite a lot in this game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously the Orb's the strongest part of that CT side defense, particularly if you've got those longer angles against the rifles. As you mentioned there, I think while maps like Inferno, utility is obviously really major in terms of sort of blocking off those choke points and kind of scuttling teams into other bomb sites. It's not as sort of used that much on train in that sort of regard. It's more or less kind of trying to delay teams from kind of being able to do those fast outer takes, particularly with the smokes blocking off the entire side. So I think it's going to be really sort of interesting to see how these teams play their T sides, because obviously a good T side is always going to help matters when moving on to the CT side, which is usually a lot easier.
Especially on a map when you, as a CT, you have a lot of options on how you can play your setups, and having all that freedom, you can have some really interesting setups, and it can. I've seen teams, especially when we watched Surge play, the way that they picked apart the map on CT side, it just shows exactly how many gaps you can find when you play that really loose, really aggressive, and really sort of it's not puggy, but it's definitely like you take a lot of risks on that CT side, but it really did pay out for them, and I'm hoping to see some similar setups in this game.
Exactly right. I mean, obviously that controlled aggression coming out on that CT side is always going to be dangerous, particularly when you're sort of probing different areas of the map. You're sort of getting a bit of a gist as to where they're currently playing, where they're defaulting, and then working off the back of that. As you mentioned there, the previous games that we've seen, lurking up that lower ramp on B is always quite dangerous if there's no one there constantly sort of watching that. So, a bit of a danger zone for the terrorists in regard to making sure they're always on top of not only their flanks, but just sort of pushing in from those sides.
Absolutely, and just leaving one little gap can, if you're up against those types of players, it can really tear apart your T side. If you're expecting to try and go for a pick and play off that, it's really not going to work out for you if you already lost one player. So it's going to be crucial for them to look out for something like that.
Exactly right, yeah. And I mean, obviously, you usually see CT sides generally will cheat one player across onto that B side, with only 4 across onto that A, kind of holding that outers, with the one connector plane being the fast rotate. So, I mean, you can, as you mentioned before, you can play train so many different ways, in terms of how many players you have on each bomb site. Obviously, you usually have at least 3 on that outers bomb pipe, but I think playing the one player on B, while definitely a risk, if you have the correct info plays, it can be quite devastating, because you funnel them in towards that A site using just some utility to hold them back. But as you mentioned, I think it'll be really interesting to kind of see how boys play their T sides for this particular game. It looks like they're getting ready to roll.
Getting right into it.
Obviously, the knife round, aka CT deciding round. Looking to find out who is going to pick that CT side, which has become all too common in pretty much every single knife victory that we've seen so far.
Absolutely, and it's interesting to note as well that the previous philosophy behind this sort of thing was when you win the knife round, you choose CT to lock down the game, try and get as many rounds on the board as you can, so it gives you that freedom on the T side. But if you wanted to get warmed up and see how you could really just get your game going, then you'd pick the T side. But really, that's changed so much recently. Teams have just decided to go straight onto that CT side without any hesitation whatsoever.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously Tribal looks like they're set to win this, unless Remy and Wiz can come off the back of that. But I mean, I think that definitely comes with the Orc meta, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. CT side rounds are just so much easier to win these days, considering you can just kind of hold those really super tight angles with the Orc, get those double dinks off early, and, it just makes it so much stronger to kind of start on that side.
I was thinking the exact same thing. The Org may actually have some part to play in this.
Tribal. Going to be on that CT side. I'll be, pleasantly
Well, we are
surprised.
expecting it.
Pleasantly surprised if they choose to stay. I'm also quite glad how quickly this game jumped to begin, which is always good.
Waiting for Iverson.
Everson has gone for Zippy.
So are you happy with your now diamond pick'em coin now?
Look, mate, I deserved that diamond pick and coin.
Oh yeah.
Nah,
Even though
look,
you didn't even wake up to watch the final.
To be perfectly honest with you, every single time there was a best of 3 that started at 5 a.m., by the time that I woke up at like 6 and got on the train at 6:30, the game was still on. By the time I got on the train, all I could see was Australia's lifting the freaking trophy. It's not my fault they freaking dominated and so quickly.
Oh yeah.
It's a bit of an unfortunate thing.
Not so easy for Ants, hey.
Not so easy for Ents, but we have to see if it's going to be easy for C9 Summer 15 or Tribal this evening. Oh, we have... Oh!
That's interesting. Usually buying the R8.
R8. I rate that buy.
Rate 8 out of 8, mate.
Exactly right. Fair bit of utility coming out on Biz, Kit, and Blueberries, but it's going to be a fast SLA main split, but GP.
Takes down the first head, but Remy with the instant trade. Iverson is backing him up, taking down Remy. So those are some pretty even trades going in favor of Tribal at the moment, but Blueberries actually manages to find Jono. Biscuit takes Addict. Blueberry finds Iverson as well. Wow, they just took them all out in the end.
The no kills by the R8 disappoints me. QZ, why you got to do me like that?
That started off so easy, so even, but then so easy.
Yeah. No,
Cloud9 took it down.
It really did. The trades were coming out evenly at the start, but C9 just got in, got the bomb plant, take the kills that they need to do. Those smokes towards that Ivy position really makes it difficult for the Ivy player to sort of do anything. But it looks like it's going to be a fast 4-man push up a B. Surely Wiz hears this.
They're just looking to get right
They've
onto the
just
side.
dropped.
And Blueberry's trying to farm. He will get Jono, and PT takes down Iverson as well. Uzi did take a lot of damage there as well.
Oh no.
Oh! Addict just knifes his teammate somehow.
Oh.
He wasn't even looking at him. That's gotta feel bad.
I mean, look at it this way. That's one less kill to the SMG.
Yeah, but it also means that the player who did the kill, I think...
Look, man, don't question the pro strats. Don't question the pro strats.
How much did he lose?
He loses 300 generally.
Yeah.
And also a kill off the scoreboard if he has one.
Pretty decent amount of money when you think about it.
Oh, Attic. -1.
That's why you don't spam your knife.
Either way, the Tribal boys should be able to get... Wiz, almost. Should be able to get a buy out of this. Obviously, they will have a bit of a lack of utility, but Hughesy, no hesitation on getting that Org out. Org meta, full throttle, except for Addict. Whereas C9 Summer 15 boys really looking to farm up more money in this bonus round.
You know, if Addict didn't knife his teammate, he could probably have a flash as well.
Look, man, Hughesy's got a flash, though. But they won't find anyone. Blueberry's not going to overstay his weapon.
That smoke that GP threw, if there was anyone there, they would have telegraphed exactly how they were playing that Ivy position. Might have even left A side a little bit open, but they will go for the B take here.
Fast rotates, though.
We'll have Wiz. Biscuit actually burning down Addict. Iverson just holding the line, taking down PT with that Org. Bomb has been planted though, so significant advantage for Cloud9. Remy takes down Jono on the side, just managing to lose his life in that situation. GP long range takes down Remy. Could do something with this. It's still a 2v2.
Big flank from
But Wiz, big flank from Wiz, takes down GP. That's one out of the game for them. Iverson is the only one left. Will get spammed long range with the UMP. So that's 3 kills for Wiz. That's huge.
Massive round by Wiz there. That was really well done by the boys. Basically,
Big flank too.
their utility usage was on point. It basically prevented any of those long-range duels that the Orgs were looking to take to be taken. I'm pretty sure... I don't actually remember who died to the molly, but I'm pretty sure they were white blind for pretty much the entirety of that take. So, no idea that they were standing in the molly. Always...
That was Addict.
Oh, Addict, yeah. Always fun. I mean, if he had a flash, he would have been fine, right?
Yeah, you know.
Either way, though, that's obviously the way the C9 Summer 15 boys wanted to go. Wiz and Blueberries, rich as hell. Tribal, quick little pause here. Not much investment going to this. Husey, he's bringing out the R8 once again.
Excuse me.
It's going to be one of those things where Tribal are going to want to stem the bleeding as fast as possible. Otherwise, moving on to that T side is going to be very difficult. Iverson actually picking himself up an MP7, which is interesting.
They got to be really careful. The economy management could really be their undoing if they're going to start force buying this early into the half. It's really not going to do them any favors later on.
I have a feeling that was a mistake because he dropped it over to GP, who has the armor. But yeah, I don't know if that was the thing. But it looks like it's going to be a fast outers take from the C9 Summer 15 boys. Iverson is going to need to get his D on.
Carpet bombing the site. Biscuit takes down Iverson. Just a whole lot of frags. R8 does manage to do something, but it won't be enough. Biscuit's the only one to fall in this round. Addict now left in a 1v4. Scratching his head, not exactly sure what to do. Dunks a nade right onto his head. PT, huge nade right onto him. And ends up just getting sprayed down. Is the server a little bit...
Yeah,
jittery?
It's choppy. That's CG service for you. I wouldn't. Yeah. Either way,
yikes, dude. Well
played round by the C9 Summer 15 boys, just pushing out together. Even though there was a stack there by Tribal, not much they could do with the investment that they had. MP7 that they bought, unfortunately, wasn't able to really do anything. But they're right back onto the buy. Husey, he's got that AWP now, so going to be interesting to see what he can lock down with that. But it seems he's playing towards that Ivy position.
And he is. He's holding a really, really fine line as well. He did see two players there. So he's going to be able to call that to his team. Jono just throwing the smoke there to deny them any opportunity to push that. But it will also mean that the AWP is less effective there. So a bit of a trade-off. Hopefully it works out for them, because they are taking that initiative.
It seems like the way that they're playing it, they're using the AWP to initially view down towards... There's the AWP. Blowberry's down.
Taking down Blowberry, but Biscuit only manages one. Huge damage onto the other. Wiz finishes him off through the floor as well. That's pretty impressive. Now back onto a 3v3. All things even. The AWP is still in play, so that could be a deciding factor in this round. The T's are fairly widespread apart. Remy managing to take down Jono. Husey, surely he's going to be trying to put himself in a good position to counter Remy's push, but Remy will fall off completely. And Husey's actually put himself in a decent position, although it looks like the Cloud9 Summer 15 guys are going to go towards the B side. Remy actually going into team main. That could put him at risk for the AWP. Addict. Just one needs to stop the push here. Doesn't manage anything really. Only takes down Wiz a little bit. Nade onto PT as well. Does a fair amount of damage, but not quite enough.
This could almost be a save situation for the Tribal boys.
Yeah, honestly, at this stage,
Here
when
is,
you're not finding any openings, is really something that you should be thinking about. Especially when you've really... You're in a position where you need to start saving money, and this has been their first real gun round after the third round, I think it was.
Third round,
and they've still not really been able to do much with it. So saving these guns, their economy's awful. This is probably the better decision overall.
Yeah, the round started off well for Tribal. They managed to get that first opening pick, and then trade immediately on that SL push.
Trades ultimately going in the favor of C9 at Summer 15.
Yeah, exactly right. It's once again they've been put into really awkward spot. I mean, the utility really low there on GP and Husey. I mean, obviously the other three lads have a fair bit on their backs to sort of try and do a little bit of early damage. But, I mean, the thing is C9 Summer haven't really been doing any sort of fast plays except for the rounds where they know that they're going to be ecoing. So, there hasn't been much of an opportunity to sort of drop a molly into something that people are rushing.
No, you're absolutely right.
Jono just dumping almost all of his... Oh, and there goes the rest of his utility. At least he does 21 damage to Blurberries.
That's useful. It really does mean that the M4s and the Augs can do that one-shot potential. So Blurberries is at huge risk. Remy now on 7 HP. Just how powerful that Aug is. Just hold a line. Almost killed him as well.
Feels bad.
Feels ultimately bad, man.
Looks like it's going to be another group up towards that B angle. Addict looking for his 0th kill.
Yeah, he's got to really even it out, make himself feel more confident.
Oh, what is that flash?
I think that was meant for an Ivy. But no one will be there to cop it.
We're all about the good utility on this channel.
Oh, absolutely.
Addict's got to get nervous. Oh, the freaking juicy nade on Wiz.
That takes him down to half HP.
Oh,
Addict couldn't finish it off. Gets taken down immediately. That's the sight for C9 Summer 15. All the players for Tribal are here. That nade won't really do much in the way of damage. But Biscuit and Wiz just doing the work that they need to. Jono with a return, but I don't think it'll be enough. He will be able to take down Wiz here. Now in a 1v2. Even though PT is quite low, it's still going to make it very difficult for Jono as he has to split his attention. And he will go for a 1v1 Blurberries gets taken down. But it looks like PT with 8 HP will be able to secure this one. Jono just running for his life, trying to save that Aug. I think PT might even die here.
Oh, 100%. Yep. Renegades rep the boys.
Rest in peace.
Another good round from C9 there. Unfortunately, Addict just couldn't really get anything done on that on the site there. Unfortunately, he needed to get it probably at least 1, maybe 2. But unfortunate on his side of things. And once again, one thing that really got to note is C9 Summer's flashbangs that they're throwing during those post plants. Like, I mean, Tribal were basically full blind at least 2 or 3 times during that post plant there, which just makes things so much more difficult in order to those retakes, you know, when you're consistently blind. But it looks like GP has gotten a bit aggressive. Iverson trying to get up onto this little sneaky box here. I do like that position.
It can be a nice off angle to play. When you say, in terms of flashes that have been thrown, there have only been 2 effective flashes on Tribal side at the moment, whereas you've got 7 on Biscuit alone, you've got 7 on PT alone, so you can see that there's a huge amount of impact that those flashes are doing for C9 Summer 15.
Exactly right. I mean, I think that's been one of the major sort of reason they've been so successful so far this game. Is not only they've been hitting their shots, but I mean they've basically been facing up against blind opponents for a lot of their takes as well as their post moments.
Absolutely. The way that Tribal are using their flashes at the moment, it's more like trying to catch people off guard. So they are using them, they're just not flashing anybody. Wiz will be able to take down the push into A site here. Will start falling apart, although there's only 2 players left. Jono doing a whole lot of work. 3 frags for him already. Husey with that swag 7 does manage to take down Blurberries, and that will be the first round for Tribal. 3 people are alive as well, so that's really gonna help them out with their economy.
Exactly right. Yeah, I was honestly just about to comment while C9 were coming in that because of all the early utility that Tribal used in terms of, you know, just trying to throwing it across the map, they didn't really have much to defend that site with, but it just came down to straight up angles there. Obviously, Jono coming up huge with the 2k there, swinging out of that smoke. So Well played by Tribal there to just kind of win out of that round with straight up angels, basically. But C9 Summer Boys look like they're going to be taking fast, well not fast, but looks like the end game here is going to be B.
You might be right, and Remy's just here to try and keep these players on A, but he will get taken down. Jono with a long range. Iverson was there to assist him as well, so they had it fairly well locked down. But Addict here alone on the B site needs to find someone at the very least. PT getting mollied down. He will go through that smoke and does manage to take down Blowberries, so that is a pretty decent impact there. Takes down Wiz as well. Very nice shot just over the bomb train. This is falling apart for C9 Summer 15. Jono does manage to take down Biscuit. PT with a return, so PT will be alone in a 1v2. Does manage to take down GP, and Husey is on 2 HP, so this is more than doable for PT.
PT's also got the bomb on his back, so he can do whatever he wants here.
And with 45 seconds left, you're absolutely right. But Husey might be thinking that the wrap is imminent, but even over the top of that coil, there won't be anything for him to see. Husey should be thinking about rotate here, unless he's still considering that he might be just waiting him out.
I think he might just wait here for the bomb plant. Waiting.
He doesn't have a kit, so unless there's one dropped, then that could really limit his time.
He's also going to be in a really difficult position taking the fights with the AWP as well. He's probably not aware that PT is as low as he is.
You might be right, and PT might not even know himself how low Husey actually is, but he'll find out soon enough, and Husey will actually be going for it, smoking off the bomb. This is actually very smart, trying to bait out the counter defuse, but he's patient, even though the smoke, not quite the best, does manage to give him some more information than I suppose Husey was hoping for, but that will be a round for C9 Summer 15 and a reset for Tribal.
GP the only one with money to really buy here, which they might buy a little bit around the AWP. Also, by the way, I just realized PT's platinum. I forgot that it's platinum. Either way there, I mean, obviously, smoke on the bomb makes sense. Unfortunately, without the bomb diffuse sound to go with that smoke, you know, he's not really going to have to worry too much about it. But it looks like fast play here. Addict is going to have a lot to do, but he's not really going to get much done, unfortunately.
Doesn't manage to do anything. Quick headshot from Blowberries will just eliminate him from the round for now. Unfortunate for him, and we will have Tribal just trying to... I'm not even sure what they're trying to do. Jono just ran in by himself, and three of the players were in connector. They're just running away now. I'm not sure what the play was there, because Jono just ran in alone, and the 3 players in connector were kind of indecisive on what the decision was, so it really left Jono alone. But Iverson managing to do some damage, and taking an AK into the next round will be a godsend for them.
Yeah, I think Jono just had a deagle, just hoping to run in and get something done, but unfortunately...
Iverson also takes down Wiz as well. Not that it's really going to do a huge amount of damage to their economy, but a chip at a time will be enough.
Exactly right. I mean, you look at their economy right now, the only person that's looking even remotely close to running out is Blowberries at the moment, but the rest of his team looking very comfortable. Pretty broken by on the Tribal side, lacking in utility across the ball. Attic and Jono just on those upgraded pistols. No armor on them, so it looks like they're just ecoing into this round and rolling through with what they managed to save. But this is a new look for the B take, Husey. Unfortunately, he doesn't get anyone. And Addict once again taken down early.
That's got to feel bad. Jono with a really nice shot onto Remy. I think Remy was just really playing with fire in that position. Headshot, those really tight angles can really be, you know, they can really be where the Deagle excels. So just playing with fire in that position, keep peeking, and eventually the Deagle's going to find your head. So unfortunately for Remy, that's going to be the end of his life. But Jono, very nice shot from you.
Looks like they're going to be taking some SL control here. Not going to have to worry about that AK that was dropped. Blueberries has thrown that over the fence. Seems like it's going to be a late split onto B, but they've got 3 players here on the tribal side, leaving Husey by himself with the AWP.
I mean, GP's got the AUG, so that should be more than enough, right?
More than enough.
More than enough. It's almost like an automatic
there
AWP
it
anyway.
is!
Takes down Wiz. Biscuit with a really nice follow-up onto Jono. Couldn't find GP, but will do things elsewhere. GP taking down Biscuit, so automatic AWP coming into play, doing a whole lot of damage. Platinum now left in a 1v3, gets tapped down with the USP by GP. So huge round from GP there, 3 frags, easy game.
You made the call. GP had the AUG on outers, and that was all that they needed. Obviously, by coming back out on the C9 Summer 15, Wiz looks like he's gone with the Galil, just so he can make sure that he has a little bit more utility coming out into this round. Meanwhile, Tribal, probably one of the first healthy buys they've had since round what, 5? But GP, the hero of last round, falls early to the Galil of Wiz.
Yeah, that was a really nice timing play from Wiz. He does manage to just run down that SL position very efficiently as well, I might add. And I guess he was kind of lucky that no one was there to counter that position. Might have been a bit late, but he was there first, and he really reaps the benefits of it. And this A take, there's so many mollies and flashbangs and smokes that have come out already. Pretty hectic. Husey just trying to find anything he can, trying to stop the bomb planter. Does manage to take down Biscuit, but the bomb already has been planted. That'll put C9 Summer 15 at a huge advantage. However, Addict and Husey doing a huge amount of work, just fragging out the post plants. Husey just flopping his dick out, doing a little bit of a bunny hop, and then just scoping in on him. Easy shot.
Yeah, Hughes positioning there up on that connector position there. Obviously working wonders, being able to take down the bomb planter just after the bomb went down, then obviously taking the one, climbing up the ladder over towards A main. Decent retake by the Tribal boys, considering the amount of utility that was just getting pegged across that site. Rough
Maybe
buy
a bit
coming
slower than it should have been.
Yeah, I think they needed to follow up, get that bomb down before the smokes were clearing, and then sort of have the mollies coming off the back of that. But moving into the next round, and C9 Summer 15 onto their last buy, but Iverson aggressive towards that Ivy position, and taken down by Blueberries.
That's a nice first pick from Summer 15. A little bit over-aggressive from Iverson, but I suppose you've got to take that risks when you're this far down. You've got to do something to switch the game up. And when it comes to the economy management, Tribal just doing those little bits of chipping damage away at Cloud9 Summer 15's economy earlier in the round did pay off for this round. You could see that Wiz only had a Deagle for this round, and previous round as well. He only had a Galil, but that really didn't work out too well for GP though. So there's a huge amount of economic damage that they've been able to do to get to this point. Let's just see if they can really follow it up with this round.
Yeah. I think Iverson's aggression might have come off the back, an expectation for a eco. Either way, the hit is coming in onto B.
GP and Addict just shutting it down. Wiz and Biscuit fall pretty early, but the bomb is planted. 3v4. Platinum taking it down Husey, but GP will return onto him, and Jono and Addict find the final 2. So that'll be another round for Tribal. I don't think Cloud9 Summer 15 will have a very healthy buy coming into the next round.
No, I mean, they're on max last bonus at this stage. I think they are. I forgot how many rounds that else. So no, not quite yet. Only 3 rounds. But yeah, I imagine they're just going to buy pistol armor into this round here. See what they can do. I imagine it's probably going to be an inners rush straight off the bat. Get those close quartered battles as soon as possible. Smoke off the choke points so you don't have to take those long range duels. It looks like Remy is going to throw smoke outers and just make a little noise. Meanwhile, Addict, once again, entried immediately, and that's an AK down.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter what weapon he faces. He just, playing in that position, he just gets taken down instantly, and Wiz will be able to follow up, taking down Jono. But Iverson takes down Blurberry and Wiz, so he's really starting to ramp up his game here, being able to do that damage. But Remy, with a really nice flank, does manage to take down Husey.
They're defusing though.
Not much they can do, but Remy will do a fair amount of damage. GP trying to save that gun, but not much else he could do there. That will actually, that's pretty good for Cloud9 Summer 15's economy.
Yeah, I mean, they were going to have more than enough money to buy into this round anyway. So, I mean, the round probably would have been what they wanted, particularly in the position that they were in. But unfortunately, they didn't really have the guns to challenge that smoke position. But Remy's in an early AWP position and manages to get Jono unawares.
That's a very, very fast pick from Remy. But Husey with a sneaky little return onto Blowberries. The Ivy pushes have been a bit hit or miss with Tribal. They've managed to really do some damage and then also get damaged as well. Take a lot of damage.
Do you have a boyfriend? Because I bet he doesn't kiss you.
Let's not get into that one, hey. I know you love it.
I feel dirty for saying that. Either way, 4-man going towards that B site. Once again, Addict, the only player on the bomb site. Tribal seem to be very happy to sort of retake that, even though Husey has now cheated back across to watch that upper push.
So, effectively 2 players watching this. Husey just walks... Remy just walks right into Husey's crosshair. Very nice shot from him. Didn't even try to jiggle him out at all. Just...
I think
shift walks and crouches right into the angle.
He had the AWP, so I think he was going in to hold that that connector position.
Anyway, the push will come out. The molly does a huge amount of damage to Biscuit, puts him on the back foot, but Wiz doing a huge work of his own, takes down Husey and Addict. Now puts Tribal in a 2v3. It was favourable for them before, but Wiz doing a lot of work there. GP managing to take down Platinum, but the molly and the flashbang coming onto the bomb, that'll delay the plant for now at least. GP's got the automatic AWP, does manage to take down Biscuit there, and he will be able to body block, but the AWP won't be able to do it. Does take down the diffuser.
This will be tight. I think he's got it though. Yeah, he's got it easy.
Very close. Well, close-ish. Could be closer.
It was a lot closer. It was nowhere near as close as I expected it to be. Tribal definitely making a big comeback at the back end of this half. I think they've only lost, yeah. They're currently on a 5-win streak, which they've got to be happy with that. Definitely going to give them some confidence with the momentum rolling on into their T side.
Really evening it up for them coming into the T side, but you've got to be thinking... with Tribal on 6 rounds, potentially 7. I suppose that's even enough. If Cloud9 Summer 15 do manage to win this round, it will put them in a pretty good position to play their CT side however they want. But Biscuit will be the one to early fall, and that will put C9 Summer 15 on the back foot early.
I think something to note as well. Ooh, unfortunate for Platinum there. I think something to note as well is that Tribal are currently on 2 UMPs, and that's simply off the back of the fact that C9, even though they've been losing those rounds, they've been doing so much damage that it's just been... Oh, that's so unfortunate for Jono.
He's just holding the angle. His crosshair was even on his head for the longest time. A smoke will come out. I think that's a connector smoke. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think you're correct, yeah. I don't usually throw it from there, but I'm pretty sure it's Wiz.
So Wiz... He gets bait... GP got baited out by the smoke getting thrown over the top. Expected the play to come out team main, but Wiz is there, taking down Husey as well. Addict now in a 1v3, gets taken down by Wiz. Wiz doing a whole lot of work in this game, I've got to say.
Yeah, that was a massive hearts from the big man. That's 17 for 10 for Wiz in that halftime there.
A lot of work, huge amount of impact. Just being able to do pretty much everything he wants to do. Don't worry, I got it too.
Every day.
Come on, CG. Swear it should just be common courtesy at this point for teams who know they're going to get cast to just pause the match at halftime.
Yeah.
Didn't miss out on anything though.
Oh, good. Didn't even get to do the halftime thing. God damn. Oh well. Either way, Execute coming in on that B side, but it just looks like Husey's just faking them out. But he's managed to pull a third player from the C9 Summer 2015 over. Remy.
Husey's the only one that's taken any damage. That does change. Biscuit taking down Addict. Jono with a return onto Blowberries. Biscuit just pulling them apart with that positioning down Sandwich and Olaf. Huge amount of work. Wiz from behind takes GP out. One shot to the head. That'll do it.
What a play from Bizkit. That was two very clean shots coming out from the man himself. They've got to be happy with that pistol round. Obviously, like I said, those utility usage by Tribal being thrown across that B site, obviously dragging the third player over, but the actual play came in on that A site. But because there was no sort of smokes or anything like that, it basically just meant that it was just straight up aim duels. And the thing with Train is because everything is such a long distance battle, majority of the time the USPs are going to win out. But even in saying that, the C9 boys aim is just too on point, and Wiz early opening onto Husey. You can't beat an Org with a Deagle, okay, Husey? Sorry, but it's just a sad fact.
Remy will take the back of Everson there. Doesn't manage to finish him off, but 6 HP is not what you want to be on. Oh no, he gets trapped on the wall, gets taken down. Oh, that's got to feel bad. And at this point, Tribal, they've got to just do something, anything at the very least. Take some guns off them if they can. Hopefully, if they do it for them, hopefully it'll be either the FAMAS or the Org. But it looks like the first to face will be Platinum with the UMP. First clean shot onto GP, second onto Addict, and the third onto Jono. Just holding the trigger, holding the line, takes them all down.
GP basically just falling straight into the crosshair. Either way, not much of an upgrade coming out on the C9 side. 2 UMPs coming out on Tribal. Very limited utility across that. So they're either going to do some sort of a fast play or just kind of hopefully rely on the higher fire player of the AK. But Jono and GP fast out onto that A side. Already
no, this is really going to put the pressure onto C9 Summer 15, and Biscuit's the first to fall. With a return, Wiz will do it, but GP is there and waiting. Takes down Blowberries as well, doing some work of his own. Now it will be Remy and Pete. Platinum actually does manage to take down Everson. That's a bit of an over aggression, and not something that you needed to do when you've got the smoke down. But still a 3v2 for Tribal. Manageable for both teams. The Scout not so much, I don't think, but Platinum being taken out of the round, this will make it really hard for Remy. He does manage one of his own onto Husey, but I'd imagine that'll be all it'll be for him.
Yeah, 20 HP. Unsure on what your opponents are on. He has a kit, although again, it's probably too much of an ask. But their economy is going to be okay, apart from where's Biscuit, who is quite low. But I mean, Platinum obviously rolling in the dosh is probably going to be able to drop at least something over.
Economy is so important on that CT side. If you can't manage it well, then it's really where you'll lose the game. Even if you've got the top fraggers, there's not much you can do.
Exactly right. And I mean, I think the impact of losing that round wasn't as big as what it could have been, considering C9 basically took their second round weapons into... Oh,
Wiz taking the fight early, Husey falling, but Wiz is now on 3 HP.
Addict!
Nice shot. Takes down Platinum as well. Remy, first to fall, takes the AK of Addict, takes down 2 players. That's a very significant entry if I've ever seen one.
Addict was sick and tired of getting entried, and he's like, you know what? It's time for me.
Duel.
It's time to duel. Save coming out for the C9 Summer Boys. They obviously don't want their economy to get too far out of control, because at this stage, Tribal is only going to be 3 rounds behind. So, what looked to be like a bit of a blowout at the very beginning of the game, Tribal's really brought it back.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think C9 Summer 15's decision to save here is probably one of the smarter ones. It will allow them to have a stronger buy into the next round, and it also the decision behind that as well is that they have the rounds to play with.
Yeah, exactly right. Considering they're not, at this stage, they're really not that far in front. They need to make sure that they can get that utility. They need to get those buys in as often as they possibly can. So, looks like they're just going to eco this round, only taking the 3 saved guns and a single deagle upgrade onto Remy. But no fast Olaf play out of Tribal this time. GP deciding to sit at the back of that A main.
Must have just been the molly that's... Unless he's thinking that Remy will get aggressive here.
Potentially. I think he sat there before the molly came in, so...
Yeah, maybe he's got some sort of read on the way that Remy plays and expecting him to do a bit of a cheeky push.
I think there's the expectation that they're going to be ecoing, so they're probably assuming there's going to be some sort of a rush somewhere in the map. But 3 going towards Ivy.
Well, they should know that they saved 3 guns from the last round, so
Yeah.
that's probably a lot less likely than that sort of philosophy would have it. Sandwich smoke, I know that one. Very nice. I wonder what Pokeball that kind of Pokeball is.
What, the Ents one?
No, it's got like a yellow stripe. It's green on the outside. It's got something on the top of it as well.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Either way, C9 just getting absolutely torn apart. Jono with the double, GP with the initial entry running in from that Ivy position. Bomb is down.
Oh, he threw his Pokeball in there.
Platinum is just getting absolutely bombarded by utility here.
Husey with his own Pokeball as well. Whizzes HP down.
You need to stop playing Pokemon Go, mate.
I can't help it.
You have problems.
Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Ooh, Wiz takes down
He's
Everson.
Just trying desperately to save this gun. He will get cornered like a rat.
Whoa.
And
What the
GP
hell?
takes him down. But PT also falls to Addict, so that'll be all the guns out of Cloud9 Summer 15's hands. I'm gonna cut the shit and call them Cloud9 from now on, because
Yeah, Cloud9 Summer 2015 is a bit of a mouthful. I've just been saying C9 for probably about 3/4 of this match. Either way, the buy coming back in for C9. Utility quite low across Platinum and Remy, but Remy got the big green gun out, and we know how impactful he can be with that, so they're obviously going to be hoping that he can get an opening pick with that. Meanwhile, Platinum playing quite up and close towards that lower ramp of B. He's going to have his hands full.
does get spotted out. Will fall off. Does he use a bit of utility?
It just seems like he's backing up.
No. He saw at least one player.
Oh, but C9 have read this. Oh, I thought they were bringing 3 over.
No reads coming out, but the flashes really should telegraph the decision that Tribal have made here. Addict already down on 26 HP. That'll really cut down his entering ability, and Platinum takes him down. Iverson with a return. Husey found one of his own on Remy as well. Jono manages to just wait out Biscuit, but Blurberries with Iverson. GP just managing to take down Wiz, so Big fragger out of the round already. 3v1 Blowberries with the automatic AWP, but don't know how much he can really do with it. He's already been spotted out. GP will be on his tracks and does take him down.
GP hitting some crisp headshots this game. First pause coming out for the C9 lads. What would you be saying in this situation, mate?
Well, let's see. They've lost 4 rounds in a row. They've tried saving some guns and it's not really worked out for them. So really what they need to do is try and just save some money and get a full buy coming out. And they've got to make that decision now. I think really just letting Tribal get to round number 11 at this stage is probably the better decision. It just allows them to build that bank, and they will actually buy 4 nades, four Pokeballs coming out.
I have a feeling they're probably going to stack these on A main or B upper, I imagine. By the way, I just wanted to mention, because I was actually going to say this without checking a little bit earlier, but even though Addix was really struggling to sort of get, was often getting entryed, he's gotten over 400 utility damage this game. And yeah, there's the 4 nade stack into that A main, but no one's there.
Didn't catch anything with those Pokeballs.
You need to just stop.
All quiet on the eastern front. Not much happening.
Yeah, Tribal just slowly creeping down that Ivy position.
We'll be smoking off the site here so they can run back to Ivy, and that will give the CTs a little bit of information, but Everson will just push in, take down Platinum. He will be able to find Wiz here as well. But a bit of a panic as Biscuit's just tapping him down. He has a molly out, so really not much he can do in that situation. Blowberry's actually taking down Jono with the P250, but GP will be there to trade it out. So that'll basically put Tribal on what you'd consider a done deal, with Biscuit with an AK, no armor though, and Remy already taken down. He had only a P250, but Biscuit, surely his decision here is to save this gun, just keep the economy as high as they can.
Yeah, it'd be silly not to try and save this here. I mean, obviously they're going to get into a bit of a buy next round, but to be able to drop 1 for a teammate if need be, just to get that little extra utility is going to be a big deal. Biscuit,
For what it's worth as well, 2 frags and a decent amount of damage. That's a good eco.
But look at Jono and GP's money.
Yeah.
At this stage, they're going to be able to buy their team for at least the next 2-3 rounds. That's if they lose. So honestly, economy's not really too much of an issue for Tribal at the moment, particularly if they keep getting those bomb plants. I mean,
no, you're absolutely right.
But either way, C9's sort of just kind of struggling with the same sort of thing that Tribal were at the start of their CT side, just really not having much to... Oh, that's a good shot by Remy. That's what they've been missing. Early opening picks.
A good initiative to try and re-peek at a different angle, QZ, but Remy with a very nice flick onto the little pallet there. And Wiz and Biscuit taking a little bit of initiative towards SL. No one's there to be caught off guard by that nice little flash, but the initiative is there from the CT side. Smoke grenade coming out onto the B side. That'll really telegraph the position that Tribal decided to go. Wiz just trying to spam down Jono. Does take a huge amount of damage, and I do believe that's a molly taking down as well. Jono just getting licked by those flames as well. This retake could actually end up working out for Cloud9. Wiz taking down Jono. So there's only 3 players left. Iverson still has the AWP, and Platinum will just get right onto the bomb there. Just completely defuse it. Not much they can do. Only GP alive.
Yeah, the numbers advantage there really came in for C9. Obviously, that retake 5v4 opening duels. Unfortunate spray. Well, I mean, obviously, fortunate spray for Wiz. for the C9 boys, unfortunate for Tribal. But obviously that death within the smoke, obviously quite disappointing for them. But, as I mentioned before, Tribal straight back in with the full buy. C9 looking a lot healthier on their buy this round though. And the Tribal looking to take some SL control with that double drop.
And who's there to really hold it off?
Oh, feels bad.
He's there. He is, in fact, in SL. Smoke is down, so they won't be able to push that.
That's good. That's good usage of the smoke, basically forcing Tribal to think of taking another area of the map. So they've filtered them into this B site, which has 2 players on it, which is different from the usual one.
They've used a lot of utility for this SL position. They haven't even gained it at all.
Yeah.
Biscuit's still... Biscuit's fallen off, but he's really done enough to just keep them at bay there.
Exactly right. A lot of utility that they decide that they're not even going to try and take. But Husey taken down by Wiz, completely white blind.
No, it looked like Husey really had the advantage over in there, but not much he could have done. Trade's coming out, 3v3 now.
Never mind.
Oh, work getting done for Tribal. Blowberry's now in a 1v2, once again in a clutch situation. Might even decide to go for it this time.
He kind of has to. If C9 Summer lose this round here, they're right back up onto an eco, and Tribal easily to make it to at least 13.
He's just going to go for the diffusers.
Oh.
Smoke's there, the
Oh.
molly's
Oh!
Addict will be able to spray him down.
Addict saves the day. He was only about... Well, there's not even a second left on that defuse. That's unlucky by Blueberries. Well played by Addict. He was not fooled by that at all. 4 Spy coming back in from C9 here. Obviously 3 Famouses, an MP9, 1 automatic AWP coming out on Platinum. Nothing. Tribal are left wanting for nothing though.
No, they've even got the AWP back onto Husey as well.
This will be a make or break round for the C9 boys. If they lose this, I think Tribal are going to get to a very easy 14th round.
Tribal looking to take Ivy control.
Oh.
But Iverson just walks out, manages to take down Blowberries without even looking at him. But Remy is there for the trade. Wiz finds one of his own on GP. Addict taking down Wiz as well. And all tied up once again. Trades have been very even for both teams.
Platinum is going to need to get at least 2 here, I think.
Even if he manages
But then
just
he's gonna
one,
go-
it's going to be doable for Cloud9. Platinum's definitely thinking at this point. No one's pushed out. Call has been made. They are A. Biscuit taken down by Jono. Very clean shot from Jono there. Nade takes Platinum down very heavily as well. This might even shut them out of the round completely. Addict just takes down Remy as he's running through that smoke there. Had no vision close to the wall. Platinum with no other decision but to save. Bring the gun, bring the automatic AWP into the next round, see if they can do anything with it then.
Ooh. Although Jono is chasing. Oh, Platinum's not looking the right way.
Yeah, you won't see him.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate for Platinum.
Yeah, as mentioned, C9's money only sitting around that 2k mark. If they full eco this round, they'll be able to buy into the next. But that's obviously conceding a 14th round to Tribal, which is going to put them very, very close to the W. So we'll just have to take a quick look at the scoreboard. Wiz being the main damage dealer on that C9 Summer, obviously with that massive T side that he had. Meanwhile, GP and Jono, the main drivers on Tribal. Addict's caught up nicely off the back of the T side. Obviously had a bit of a difficult run on that CT side, over on that B-bomb side. Massive utility damage coming out from him, as well as Platinum. 429, I think he's built that up from that Molotov going on that lower ramp. But we're right back into it. C9 Summer just a few P250 upgrades, but outside of that, nothing else. So this should be a fairly easy round for Tribal.
Tribal looking to take some SL control here. No one there just yet. PT does manage to sneak in a little bit late after the nades have already gone off. Oh, Iverson taking down Remy. Just trying to get some information. Gets caught off guard there. Addict, I suppose, is playing on 4x3 because he didn't see PT running up that ladder there. Jono takes down Wiz, Husey takes down Biscuit, and Addict finalizes the round with a frag onto Blowberries.
Yeah. C9 going to be able to buy here. Unfortunately, not going to be able to buy much utility on a lot of players here, though. Just going to have to manage with a single smoke and a flash on most of these players. They've even got the decoys out, so we'll see where they're going to throw those. Meanwhile, Tribal, once again, looking very healthy. Got that single Ivy player in Jono. Jono's gone for a very aggressive peek, which Blurberries just says, thank you, next.
Yeah, I think you might have been expecting the close on the left-hand side there, where it would have been more of a pixel angle, but wide swing basically onto that angle that he was holding. It's doing no favors for Jono.
Jono heard me talk about him being one of the heavy hitters for Tribal, and he's like, "Oh, I'll show you a heavy hitter."
better fall off.
Next thing you know.
Looks like it will end up being somewhat of an ace split, but GP's come out here alone. He's there all by himself. The SL players will join late. Lucky for him, not enough damage coming out to actually really hamper their progress onto the A side. Addict taking down Remy. Husey found one as well a little bit earlier.
Bizkit in the smoke.
Bomb will get planted. Biscuit's here, but Addict is in a good position to trade him out. Biscuit with 2, though, that really makes the round still doable for them. Wiz takes down GP, so Addict now left in a pretty difficult 1v2. With 7 HP, not much you're going to do in that situation.
I mean, I'm a little bit surprised Addict decided to swing out of that SL position, considering he had 7 HP, they hadn't touched the bomb. Maybe a little bit
just trying to get a 1v1 to start off with, get them off guard and make it a little bit easier for him.
Unfortunately, they were more than aware of where his position was. Now, C9 Summer really need to make sure they convert this round here.
We could be looking at an overtime game.
Oh, you love a good overtime, don't you?
Oh, I haven't had one for a while, mate.
Either way, double Ivy this time for Tribal.
Hughes going to just scope onto that angle. Jono with the bait.
Jono loses 54 HP for his trouble, though.
That is definitely not an even damage trade. Jono now left with 10 HP, basically limping around the map now, as you can see. Very slow. Once again, Tribal trying to take some really aggressive SL control with their utility. Very flashy flash from Jono there. Manages to flash everyone on the map.
Yeah, the utility into SL is an interesting one. I mean, I think they threw like 3 grenades down there. It's, look, I can understand you trying to do some tick damage to anyone that decides to play there, but if you're not going to try and take any sort of... If you're not going to try and take it, I kind of feel like the utility could probably be used better, but I mean, they might have a reason behind it.
Biscuit has been playing that position fairly well. For the first half of this half, he basically just held down that position. So they're probably just expecting play there, but given the amount of times they've thrown grenades down there, he's decided to just fall off the angle. Blurberries with 2 and 3.
Blueberries.
PT with 1 of his own as well. Husey now left in a very difficult situation. Will be opting to save that all. Not really much he can do with such limited time. And no one will be hunting this.
Well, C9 have got to be happy with that, equalising it back to 14-14. Money starting to equalise a little bit on their side. Obviously, a lost round is still going to put them in a really awkward position. They've really started to belt down Tribal's economy as well. Addict really the only one still swimming in money. So, this is going to be quite a hinging round. It might even be whoever gets to 15 first will be playing against a broken buy, but it's a fast out-of-take coming in C9 Summer, and they're winning the duels.
Biscuit with 3 and with 2 and an assist. Wiz taking down GP. Husey now in a very familiar situation. 1v5 takes down Blueberry to start. He's just going to save. He's just going to run away.
He has to save for 1:20, which I don't think the C9 Summer Boys are going to chase too hard because even their money is not too great. Wiz.
No, he's just going to get cheeky. Takes down Wiz. Looking for the ace to win this round, but Remy, you can see his foot, just shoots him. Achilles heel takes him down.
It was unfortunate for Husey there. Probably was hoping to get a little bit more done. But as I mentioned, only one with money, Addict. So he's going to be able to buy 2 AKs, one for a teammate, one for himself. Iverson left down onto that UMP. Meanwhile, C9 Summer very happy on that one there. 3 players survived, able to fully buy. They've done very well to come back after losing so many rounds in a row.
You're absolutely right. Mental fortitude, just holding tight. They're managing to really inch out the rounds that really matter. At the end of the day, it only matters when you get the win. Doesn't matter if it's 14-16 or 16-0.
Pretty slow default coming out from Tribal. I mean, this is pretty much what they've been doing for the majority of this game here, kind of waiting for that aggression. But C9 have been very sort of tempered with that aggression, not doing too much, only taking a few sort of risks here and there. But I think it's going to be an outtake.
Decent amount of utility coming onto the A side. 2 mollies already. Wiz the first to fall. Platinum takes one of his own. Husey now managing to find Biscuit as well. Platinum just holding the line, manages to hit another one as well. Blurberries taking down Husey. 2v3 now for Cloud9 to win this round. GP falls to Blurberries. Addict now in a clutch of his life. 1v3.
To save the game. Are we going into overtime, Avarice? Takes down 1.
Might well be. Blurberries falls. But looks like he's locked down.
Oh.
Not enough time.
What a way to end the game. Smoke.
Well played, though. That was pushing through that molly. The molly was there to really hold him off, but he decides, you know what, fuck it, I'll go through and hopefully get the bomb diffuser. Leaves him in a 1v1, but unfortunately just can't find the player through the smoke.
Right. The utility damage coming out from the C9 boys, absolutely huge, and those effective flashes, as I touched on before, absolutely massive, particularly on that T side where they were able to really, hold out those, really push those retakes because, if you've got the CTs running in completely blind the entire time, it makes life way easier. Welcome to the chat, boys. Well played across the board there. It looked a little bit sketchy in the middle, but obviously the C9 Summer 2015 vibes never give up.
No, huge game from Wiz as well. What did he end up on? It was
29,
pretty close
I think.
to 30 frags. That's massive. And I did have a look a little bit later into the game. Wasn't quite the end. I think we were about 5 rounds from the end, but Tribal, their effective flashes were still a bit low compared to Cloud9. Cloud9 still were the leaders when it came to their effective flashes. Even on the CT side, they were pulling off some pretty good effective flashes.
I think at the end it was like C9 had almost 20 on majority of their players, whereas Tribal probably had maybe 30 across all of their players, like in terms of all up. So, I mean, definitely a massive difference between the two teams in that respect. And obviously Addict doing a lot of that utility damage, which I think almost just kind of comes with playing that lower ramp position on B.
Yeah, just dropping that molly as they run through, you'll just farm up that tick damage.
Yeah, I mean, I think something interesting was obviously both teams had very almost mirrored halves, both struggling a little bit at the start of their CT side, sort of trying to adapt to their opponents in the way that they were playing T side, but coming in at the end to sort of start understanding how to play, how to defend, and what they're sort of doing. Part of me feels like Tribal might have been getting a little bit flustered in those last few rounds.
Absolutely, and the takes were getting a little bit, I don't want to say sloppy, because they were throwing the utility that they needed to. I just don't know if they were really making the best use out of the pathways that they created for themselves for that utility.
Yeah. You know how some rounds, some teams, they get to sort of towards that 15th round and they think, hey, let's just do something fast, let's end the game quickly. That sort of mentality generally sometimes sits in, and it might just think, oh, we're going to do a fast Adders take, we'll put them off guard, we'll bring this back to where we need to be. And unfortunately, the boys, well, unfortunately for Tribal, the boys over on C9 had their number for those.
You're absolutely right. The A site hold for those gun rounds was very good from Cloud9. There was that one round where they managed to take down every single player except for Husey in the first couple seconds of the push. Left Husey just scratching his head. He did manage to farm a couple more frags, but in the end, not much else he could have done with that round.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, I think asking a little bit too much, particularly in those late rounds there. Addict obviously doing his best. Unfortunate that he wasn't able to hit that spray in the smoke. But either way, well played by both teams. Always fun to cast games that are really nice and tight and a bit back and forth. So thanks for coming out, guys. Appreciate the viewers. And until next time, take it easy.
Thanks for keeping it interesting.